Hello. I want to talk about a pet hate subject of me in the birth field today. I want to talk about something which I call the con of being overdue. I'm sure it's either happened to you or it's happened to friends of yours. Have you heard about it? You know, when a woman reaches 40 weeks of pregnancy, everybody, and I mean by that everybody around her, behaves like something's wrong, like the baby's late, like the baby, you know, something's not right with the baby, and the birth professional behave like something's not right with the woman and the baby. The friends of the pregnant women behave like something's not right with the baby. The woman keeps getting, from both friends and family, keeps getting text and phone calls and Facebook message. Have you had the baby yet? Are you still pregnant? You know, it's very, very irritating. There's several reasons why this is a subject that's very close to my heart. One of which is my first child was born 16 days after the due date, and I had luckily not that pressure from my midwife, who was a very, very lovely and enlightened midwife, and I didn't have that pressure from my family either, but I had that pressure from people who I didn't know me. So I had that pressure from people in shops, having some really freaked out facial expression on when they said, when's the baby due? And I said, well, it was due 10 days ago, because I had this kind of get out of my shop freaked out expression on. So the other reason why I feel really pissed off about this topic is because as an antenatal teacher and as a doula, I have supported many couples who have found themselves in that situation. And when they found themselves in that situation, when you're a pregnant woman and you are waiting for your baby to arrive and you've passed the 40 weeks gaze date, because that's what it should be called really, a gaze date. When you've passed that date, you're already usually heavily pregnant and physically uncomfortable, and you're usually kind of already fed up of waiting for the baby to arrive. And then it really doesn't help to have everybody else putting pressure on you and behaving like something's terribly wrong. And it certainly doesn't help you relax, and it doesn't help you when we know that birth starts, tend to not start if the woman is feeling stressed. When we know that, it certainly doesn't help you at all to have everybody behaving like that around you. The other reason I feel that is a topic that pisses me off quite a lot is because the evidence, the scientific evidence, isn't there to back up that women are late. Because medically, medical term of pregnancy, that is when it's considered to be normal for the baby to be born, it's considered to be between 37 and 42 weeks of pregnancy. So women should be given a due month, not a due date, because, well, it's 5 weeks. It's actually more than a month. You know, I find that the date itself is almost like a curse, because as soon as you've hit it, even if you've done your reading, even if you've been educated, even if you've done your research and know that by a fact, you know, there's nothing wrong with you and your baby, until you reach 42 weeks, which even after that is the evidence is debatable, that, you know, there's nothing wrong with you and your baby. It's really hard to stay chilled and relaxed when nobody is reassuring you, when everybody else is behaving like you're some kind of ticking time bomb and your baby should be there by now. So what is the medical evidence for induction for post dates? Well, it falls in 3 categories in my opinion. First, there are 2 myths and 1 debatable scientific evidence. The first myth is that the placenta stops working after 42 weeks. There is published evidence that that's not the case at all. In fact, there is no published evidence to back the myth up, but the myth is very, very present in the mind of many health professionals. So I hear women being told, oh, your placenta is failing. Well, no, it's not. The other second myth is the baby's going to get too big. You know, you're going to have a baby that won't fit through your pelvis. Again, there is no evidence of that at all, because baby's head kind of adapt and mold to fit through the pelvis. And whilst pregnant, women have a hormone called relaxin that makes their pelvis more flexible and more able to open to let the baby out. So that doesn't add up. You know, there's just no scientific evidence to back that up at all. The only scientific evidence, and I say evidence with quotes, is the idea that the risk of stillbirth increases after 42 weeks. people often say something like it doubles the risk, which is not even technically true. What we know is that the risk of unexplained stillbirth at 40 weeks is about 1 in 900, and at 42 weeks it's about 1 in 600. So it doesn't quite double. It goes from 0.1% to 0.15%. But when people hear double in their head, they think it's going up to 50%. You know, it's not quite like that. So, you know, the evidence for inducing women after, it tends to be done before 42 weeks as well, which by itself is odd. But the evidence for inducing all women just because of the time on the calendar, it's not actually that strong at all. So what I've done is I've written a very long blog post with lots and lots of links to other people who've done research and referenced the evidence that I'm talking about, and I'm going to post that tonight. But what I'm going to say to pregnant women or people who support pregnant women who are in that situation is that you really want to read up on the topic and make sure you can make informed decisions. Because the other thing that irritates me quite a lot is that most of the time when women are in that situation, the only discussion that tends to take place with their caregiver is they get told of the risk of not inducing, but they don't get told about the risk of inducing. And they don't get told about the reality of the induction of labor and what that means and how it restricts their choices and their option and how it increases, more than doubles the chance of having a cesarean. So I will post the link below this video once I've written and posted the blog post, probably tonight, this evening. Just keep on informing yourself so you can make truly informed choices. Thank you.